What is up, guys? Welcome back to Life on Earth. Hope you guys are doing well today. Got some big news to report to you guys. Rolex, Patek Philippe, Tudor, Chanel, and Chopard have all said that they are pulling out of Baselworld and they will not be attending Baselworld ever again. They've actually decided to start their own show in Geneva. So we're going to give you all the details about this, give you our opinions on it, and then how this is going to kind of affect the world of watches and obviously our love for watches. But before we get into that, if you haven't done it already, be sure to hit that like button for the fact that Baselworld is kind of falling apart. I guess that's kind of a morbid way of thinking about it, but might as well hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you like this type of content. If you like watches, we make videos about watches, just about any topic that you can think of, so be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. So like I said, Rolex, Patek Philippe, Tudor, Chanel, and Chopard have all pulled out of Basel. They've announced that each brand will be leaving Baselworld, and they will not attend Baselworld in the future. They've actually decided to start their own show in Geneva, which is going to take place in April 2021. That's going to be the first show that takes place. And essentially, it's going to coincide with the Watches and Wonders, which used to be SIHH. It's going to coincide with that with that trade show that's going to take place then. A couple of things kind of led up to this announcement, which kind of pointed to people's dissatisfaction with Baselworld, which has been a common theme for the past couple of years. Rolex, Tudor, and Patek Philippe all announced that they were postponing the releases of their watches for 2020, so they were not going to release any new watches this year. We did do a video about that, so be sure to check that out as well. Also, one of the Rolex executives, Hubert Du Plessix, announced that asked Baselworld if he could be refunded for the money that he spent, or if Rolex could be refunded the money that they spent on participating in Baselworld for 2020. So those were two things that kind of led up to this decision, and if you think about it from a story perspective, it kind of makes sense. They're going to postpone the watches. They also asked for a refund from Basel, and then they announced the fact that they're going to be releasing all their new watches in April of 2021. It's kind of crazy to think about it, at first, being the fact that Rolex, Tudor, and Patek announced that they were not releasing any new watches. The initial thought is, okay, we're not going to get any new watches from these companies for a year, so that you can kind of anticipate that. But now we're actually going to have to wait until April, which, when this video gets released, we're going to have to wait an entire year for watches to come from these potentially a year for watches to be released by these companies. Just to give you a little bit of history, Rolex has actually been at Baselworld since 1939, so it's been a participant in Baselworld for a very, very long time and an integral part of the makeup of Baselworld. The Rolex press release cites the fact that the way that the MCH Group, which is the management company for Baselworld, the way that they had been making decisions and kind of leading the efforts for Baselworld didn't really coincide with the way in which Rolex wanted their brand to kind of take. Thierry in a press conference said, he's the fourth generation of his leadership, or the leadership of the Stern family. He's the fourth person in the fourth generation of the Stern family to be taking part in Baselworld, and he had to make the decision that they were no longer in line when it came to the vision of Baselworld and the vision of Patek Philippe. They just were no longer aligned. So unfortunately, they had to part ways. Chanel's president Frédéric Grangy said that he cited in his release that they were committed to protecting and promoting the values of quality and precision within watchmaking, which is a large statement to say that in essence Baselworld was not taking those values those values seriously, which is pretty intense to be saying about this. Like I said, they're going to be creating a new show which is geared towards retailers, the press, and then VIP customers, which I don't really know. I really hope that they have and this is kind of getting into my opinions here, having a focus on retail, the press, and VIP customers is obviously a very sales-driven focus. They want to make sure that they are moving watches and showing people who are going to end up selling those watches or buying those watches. They want to show those people the abilities of the new watches that they have. At the same time, I hope that they take into consideration customer, you know, Baselworld, you were able to go and see the watches as an end consumer and experience the new watches for the year. And I hope that this new show does that too, because, you know, it's something special, and it's something that, you know, if you are into watches, it's something that you want to partake in as well. So I really hope they focus on that. Kind of going a little bit more into my opinions. I'm super sad actually about this. Baselworld has a special place in my heart, just based on my history with the city, as well as you know, the show itself. You know, it's hugely important to really my watch journey and my, you know, experiences with watches, but also to the watches themselves. You know, it's a place where literally everyone came together and was excited about watches and got to experience the watches that were going to be released that year. You know, now people are kind of doing their own thing. There's small little gatherings, and it's kind of, I know that it makes events a little bit more tailored to specific watches and to, you know, specific groups of companies. But I think Baselworld did have a place, and it was a nice place to come together and know that everyone there was just experiencing the new watches for the year. One thing that I do want to say is that, you know, it's definitely going to have an impact on Basel as a city. I know Basel is going to obviously have no issues with it. They will, the city will definitely rally and conquer this change together for sure. It's the way that Basel is. But there are local businesses that probably will be affected by it. I know it's not a local business, but I know I saw some stuff on Instagram about how the Three Kings, which is a very luxurious hotel, is going to be affected by it. Who knows? You know, I think the reason why they would benefit from that is because there's not that many hotels in Basel, so it was one of the only places that you could actually stay when you went for the event. I'm just thinking about how Baselworld will react. I think this is a big wake-up call to MCH Group, which is the management company for Baselworld. I think it's a big wake-up call when you lose literally your biggest participants. I think I don't know if other watch companies are going to follow. I wouldn't be surprised if other watch companies followed. You know, they could definitely say, you know, these companies, Rolex, Patek, Tudor, Chanel, these are companies that, Chopard, these are companies that get people in the door. And if you can't, you know, get people into Baselworld, you know, what's the value in if I'm not getting foot traffic into my booths? You know, what's the point? But you could also see it in the opposite direction. Other companies could emerge as more leaders. You know, big companies can say, hey, you know, now we have Rolex, Patek, Tudor, Chanel, Chopard. They're not there anymore, so now we're the big name, and that means that we can showcase what we want to do. There's a lot of ways that this could kind of go. I will say, I really do hope that the new show that's taking place in April of 2021 with these companies, I really hope that they have some type of focus on not just retailers, the press and VIP customers, but also just the end consumers who are going to end up liking these and perhaps purchasing these watches that are perhaps not VIP classified. So I really hope that they think about that. I will say the watch world doesn't stand still for very long. It's always changing, and I think this is a big change, especially for how consumers are going to end up experiencing watches. So hope you guys enjoyed this little coverage that I gave you. I know it's been released. I'll be sure to get this to you guys as soon as possible, because I know I film in advance, so I'll be sure to get this out to you as soon as possible. If you didn't do it at the beginning of the video, like I said, be sure to hit that like button for this new show. I mean, it could be a great success. Hit the like button for the rebellion that Rolex, Patek Philippe, Tudor, Chanel, and Chopard are partaking in. I think that's a cool way of looking at it. Also, if you like this type of video, be sure to check out our other videos in our channel. We create videos about watches, all things from traveling and experiencing watches to learning about different types of movements or specific independent watches or new releases. It's really fun for us. We also sometimes create our own collections of, you know, specific amounts. So, you know, a watch collection under $5,000, a watch collection under $3,000. It's a lot of fun for us to do that, and I think it's been helpful for you guys. Leave a comment letting us know what you think about this crazy time that is watches. I hope you guys are staying safe out there with all the with COVID-19 going around right now. And with that said, guys, hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time.